All right, today we're going to do a deep dive into a piece of hardware that's really shaking things up in the world of control systems. We're talking about the Adquio Lite. We're going to break down exactly what it is and, more importantly, what makes it so incredibly versatile. Let's jump in. So, Adquio themselves call it the most versatile controller in the Adquio ecosystem. That's a pretty bold claim, right? But is that just some slick marketing, or is there some real fire behind that smoke? Well, over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack the features that are meant to prove that very point. So, where does all this versatility really come from? Well, if you ask me, it all starts with the engine under the hood. You just can't be flexible and adaptable without having some serious raw power to back it up. And that's exactly where we're going to start, the incredible performance at the heart of the Adquio Lite. Okay, let's just start with a number that's pretty staggering. 170 times. Yeah, thanks to its quad-core ARM Cortex-A7 processor, the Adquio Lite isn't just a little bit faster than its competitors, it's in a completely different universe. This isn't just a small step up, it's a massive, massive leap in what a controller in this price range can do. And this comparison right here really shows you the scale of that difference. It really comes down to memory. The Adquio Lite is packing 512 megabytes of RAM. Now, to put that in perspective for you, while its competitors are still counting their memory in kilobytes, Adquio is playing a whole different game. It's a huge architectural advantage that lets it handle way more complex jobs way faster. And what about keeping your data safe? Well, with 16 gigabytes of local storage, this controller can log a massive amount of information, even if it's completely disconnected from the internet. So what does that mean? It means if your network goes down for hours or even for a couple of days, the Adquio Lite just keeps on working, keeps on recording, making sure that not a single piece of critical data ever gets lost. You can think of it like a built-in black box for your entire operation. Okay, so all that power is fantastic, but it's pretty useless if it can't actually talk to the real world, right? And that brings us perfectly to our next section, limitless connectivity. This is all about how the Adquio Lite bridges that gap between its brain and the actual devices it needs to control. Just at a glance, you can tell this thing was built to connect. I mean, we've got an integrated Ethernet switch, four RS-485 ports, built-in Wi-Fi, and of course, it supports all the modern protocols you'd expect, like Modbus TCP, BACnet IP, MQTT, the whole shebang. Let's break a few of these down. First off, that 4-port switch. Now, this is so much more than just a convenience. For installers, this is an absolute game changer. You can plug multiple devices in directly, which saves you the cost and the headache of installing an external switch. But wait, there's more. It also acts as a firewall, protecting all your local devices, and it can function as a router to give them internet. It's just brilliant. One feature that solves 3 separate problems, slashing hardware costs and installation time. Now let's talk serial ports. Most controllers out there will give you 1, maybe 2 RS-485 ports if you're lucky. The Adquio Lite gives you 4 of them. And they're not just dumb ports, they're smart. You can run different protocols on different ports at the same time, and all at high speed. This means you can hook up way more devices, we're talking up to 30 per port, and manage a much wider variety of equipment from just one single controller. And for the person who's actually on site doing the work, this feature is an absolute lifesaver. The built-in Wi-Fi access point means you can just pull out your laptop or your tablet and connect wirelessly to the device to set it up. No more digging around for the right cable or trying to plug into some awkward, hard-to-reach spot. It just makes maintenance and setup so much easier. So we've got the power, we've got the connectivity, but how do you actually tame all that and make it work for you? Well, that brings us to our third big area, the intelligence layer. This is all about how Adquio makes managing all this incredible complexity surprisingly simple. This right here is a huge deal. Forget about needing proprietary licensed software that you have to install on one specific computer. With the Adquio Lite, everything, all the programming, all the maintenance is done through a standard web browser. You know what that means? It means you can securely log in and manage your controller from literally anywhere in the world on any device you want. The way it's programmed is smarter too. See, traditional controllers use something called a process loop. It's like constantly asking, anything new yet? Anything new yet? Over and over again, which just wastes a ton of resources. The Adquio Lite uses an event-driven model with JavaScript. It's more like getting a notification on your phone. It only acts when something has actually happened. This approach is way more efficient, uses less processing power, and lets the controller handle many more things at once. And the foundation for all of this is a super robust, open-source operating system, GNU/Linux. This provides a rock-solid base, giving you top-tier security, native support for all those modern communication protocols, and true multiprocessing. It's the kind of powerful OS you normally find running on a server, now packed inside a controller.
Okay, so let's bring it all home. We've looked at the power, we've looked at the connections, and we've looked at the intelligence. So what does it all add up to? Let's quickly recap what makes up the Adquio advantage.
It really all comes down to these three pillars. First, you've got that superior performance that just blows the competition out of the water. Second, you have total connectivity that makes installation easier and expands what's possible. And third, you have simplified management that makes all this power easy to use for anyone just through a web browser. You put those three together, and that's what makes the claim of versatility a genuine reality.
Which, it leaves us with one final thought. When you combine this much power, this much connectivity, and this much ease of use into one device, it stops being just a simple controller. It starts becoming a platform for innovation. So the real question isn't just about what the Adquio Lite can do. It's about what could you reinvent with this kind of power and flexibility in your hands.